Hi everybody, and welcome to the audio version of the Exploration Weekly newsletter, this time for the week of July 30th, 2021. I'm Rene Merideth, the COO of Exploration Group, and as always, my shout out to Heidi So and Jules Ramos for all their hard work on our newsletter every single week. And now, the news. YouTube is now generating over $3 million an hour from ads, more than $75 million per day. In the 3 months to the end of June 2021, YouTube generated just over $7 billion from advertising alone, equivalent to approximately $77 million a day, or $3.2 million every hour. That's according to new fiscal results from Alphabet for the period, which tell us that YouTube's Q2 2021 ad revenue was up by 83.7% on the equivalent figure from 2020. Earlier this year, Music Business Worldwide forecast that YouTube might even surpass $29 billion in annual advertising revenue across the whole of 2021. Right now, that's looking very plausible. In the 6 months to the end of June this year, the platform generated just over $13 billion in ad revenues, according to Alphabet. According to recent data from Media Research, YouTube Music and Google claimed an 8% share of the global music subscription market at the close of Q1 this year. With 487 million total music subscribers worldwide, that means YouTube Music is at approximately 39 million music subs globally. Spotify reports 165 million paid users as Q2 revenue climbs 23%. Spotify's user base grew to 165 million paid subscribers and 210 million free users during the second quarter of 2021, with total monthly active users now hitting the 365 million mark, the company announced in its latest earnings release. That's a net increase of 7 million paid users and 2 million free users compared to the first quarter. Both of those metrics were on target with guidance, though Spotify conceded MAU growth was slightly underwhelming due to a softer first half of the quarter. Accordingly, Spotify lowered its guidance for MAUs at the end of 2021 from 402 to 422 million down to 400 to 407 million. At the same time, it increased guidance on 2021 revenue and gross margin. Total revenue in the second quarter was 2.33 billion euros, or $2.75 billion, up 23% year over year and 9% higher than Q1's tally. Songwriter groups formally call on U.S. Copyright Royalty Board to reject NMPA's mechanical royalty rate proposals. An assortment of organizations representing songwriters in America and beyond, led by the Songwriters Guild of America, the Society of Composers and Lyricists, and Music Creators North America, have called on the U.S. Copyright Royalty Board to reject a proposal endorsed by the major music publishers to keep in place the current mechanical royalty rates for discs and downloads within the U.S. The various songwriter groups made a submission asking for the NMPA-NSAI settlement to be disregarded and for, at minimum, the current rates to be amended to take into account inflation since 2006. The document further explained how the mechanical rights compulsory license and subsequent royalty rate setting repeatedly disadvantaged U.S. songwriters over the decades, and especially since 2006. They also set out their objections to the NMPA leading on the negotiations for a new rate, given that its biggest 3 members have a conflict of interest. Apple services revenue hits $17.5 billion. Apple announced this week that its services business, which includes Apple TV+, Apple Music, the App Store, and iCloud, delivered $17.5 billion in revenue in the second fiscal quarter of 2021, which ended on June 30th. That is up from $13.1 billion in the same quarter a year ago, and from $16.9 billion last quarter. It also marks a new record. Apple did not break down how its services revenue was distributed or how many subscribers each service has. Apple CFO Luca Maestri told analysts that the company had more than 700 million paid subscriptions across its services division, including Apple TV, Apple Music, News, and Games. Maestri also said that while Apple expects its services revenue to grow next quarter, it does not expect the same level of growth it saw in this past quarter. Overall, Apple reported revenue of $81.4 billion, up 36% year over year. Live Music Biz generated $132.6 billion in economic activity in 2019. According to Live Nation and Oxford Economics report titled The Concerts and Live Entertainment Industry, a Significant Economic Engine, in 2019, the concert business was valued at $132.6 billion. The live biz employs 900,000 people with associated labor income of approximately $42.2 billion. The report also found that concerts generate $55.2 billion in direct spending in the U.S. each year, including both venue operational spending to cover all the costs of show production and consumer spending by attendees before and after a show takes place. That amounts to nearly $9.3 billion in federal tax revenues and $8.3 billion in state and local tax revenues. In regards to local impact of concerts, the study finds that every $100 spent by an out-of-town attendee on a concert ticket, $334.92 is generated within the local economy. Sirius XM revenues up 15%, but Pandora listeners still falling. U.S. satellite radio firm Sirius XM reported its latest financial results with its Q2 revenues of $2.16 billion, having grown by 15% year-on-year. The company added 355,000 net new self-pay subscribers during the quarter, taking it to 31.4 million overall. Less positively, SiriusXM is still struggling to reverse the listener decline of its music streaming subsidiary Pandora. The latter service had 55.1 million monthly active users in Q2, down from 59.6 million a year ago, and 55.9 million at the end of Q1 this year. Pandora's advertising business is a brighter spot. Its revenues grew by 82% year-on-year to $383 million, although that year-ago quarter took a significant hit from COVID-19. And when I first started doing these regular weekly audio versions of our newsletter, I had started to do little clips from our random rambling section. It's been a while since I've done them, and so today I have 2 of them for you. The first one is that my amazing business partner, Aaron Davis, has started doing some behind the scenes in the music business videos on our YouTube channel. You can hop over there and check him out. He's talking about things we do in exploration and things going on in the music business and how it all relates together and how it can all benefit songwriters and artists. And my second one is a shout out to my friends at Steven Tyler's Janie's Fund. For those of you that don't know, Janie's Fund is an initiative started by Aerosmith's Steven Tyler, inspired by his song Janie's Got a Gun. Their goal is to bring hope and healing to girls who have suffered the trauma of abuse and neglect. I was very honored and blessed that they asked me to be a part of their #18 campaign. In this campaign, some of us were asked to write letters to our 18-year-old selves. Mine has been posted to the Janie's Fund YouTube channel, and there's a link to it in the description below. You can also find a link to Janie's Fund and to Aaron's behind the scenes in the music business videos in the print version of our newsletter that we post on our website every single week. That's all for me this week. Thank you all so much for listening, and don't forget to click subscribe for more great content from Exploration. And as always, please don't forget to be kind to each other.